Hi, my name is John Payne. I was a PGA professional until I retired from golf over 20 years ago when I was in my late 40s. I retired because of back and leg problems, but also because I was such a bad golfer, I couldn't get a job as a golf pro and my legs weren't strong enough then to play. I was involved in golf management and building golf courses, but I lost interest in that because I was playing such. The reason for my bad golf was an over-the-top golf swing, which I learnt when I started playing golf at 17 and perfected in the following years, always fighting a slice. I could never understand why I could get round in the low 70s, occasionally high 60s, then the next 10 rounds were in the high 80s, even 90s occasionally. When I was a club pro in 1981, I manufactured a swing which produced a low draw but put a lot of strain on my back. Eventually it forced me to give up playing golf regularly. In the last year, I've taken golf up again after more than 30 years. I joined a local club with a short 9-hole par 36 course, bought a small golf buggy and started practicing and playing regularly. Even with the buggy, I can only manage 9 holes as my legs give up. I also have arthritis and tendonitis in my hands, particularly the right, and in my wrists as well. I wanted to find out why I couldn't stop swinging over the top in my youth and to see if I could correct it. By watching YouTube videos of all the great golfers and with my phone camera to view my own swing, I have discovered the reasons why I used to swing over the top. So far, I've found 27 separate reasons. Some may apply just to me and my disabilities, but most apply to many average golfers, particularly the inflexible or elderly. Some are well known, some of these reasons are well known, but many are hardly mentioned by golf pros. I have the advantage over most golf pros that I started golf relatively late at 17. Most pros start pre-teens or early teens. I have the advantage of physical disabilities, so that I've never been able to learn a smooth, full golf swing. I have the advantage of a back, which has very little flexibility. I have the advantage of having sliced my way through thousands of rounds of golf. I can relate to the average golfer. So this video is not for the young beginners and not for elite players. It's for club golfers who slice and want to stop or reduce slicing. And I hope it's also for all the golf pros, particularly some YouTube pros who teach ordinary folk to adopt dangerous or impossible contortions to swing the club. This video won't be very professional, and as you'll realise, I'm reading from a prepared script with a makeshift setup here where I live on the south coast, overlooking the sea, and I will have to edit this heavily, but it will cover a lot. Stick with it please, and I hope you find it useful. Over the top means that the downswing plane cuts across the backswing plane. Downswing, backswing. And there's normally a big loop involved. There. It was very common in the early 20th century for professional golfers to take the club back well on the inside and swing down outside of that plane. But the downswing plane was still in to out, producing a straight or draw shot. Still coming on the inside. Harry Varden, Bobby Jones, Bobby Locke, Henry Cotton, many other great golfers swung this way. Bobby Jones actually used to take the club almost back round his ankles, huge loop, but he still came from the inside. I saw him playing in early 70s when he was blind in one eye. He still qualified 4 rounds of the Open. Great player. I self-taught myself golf by reading this book by Sam Snead, showing photographs of the different stages through different swings with different clubs. He was one of the best swingers to copy, but there were moves he made in his swing that I've only recently understood with the aid of old film of him swinging. These great players all had what I call a hands over the top golf swing, where the hands would go back there, come slightly over the top, but the club was still back here, laid off, coming into the golf ball. In the era of Jack Nicklaus, Tom Watson, many others, the takeaway tended to go more upright, and with the stressing of the one-piece takeaway, this exaggerated over-the-top hand swing of earlier golfers mainly disappeared. The modern swing, in most cases, has changed again, such that the plane of the downswing is much below the plane of the backswing. The clearest example of this would be Sergio Garcia. I can't do it, but I'll make an effort. He actually dropped the club down here, well on the inside, before he came down through. One thing that is common throughout golf history is that all great golfers get to this position just before impact, with the club parallel to the target line, horizontal, toe up in the air or slightly closed, and the legs and the hips and the shoulders and the arms pulling the club at speed through the ball. From this position, the old style golf professionals would release the club through the ball with the club pulling them round to the follow through.